great. The Prophet ﷺ pointed out its greatness in the hadith reported by Al-Hakim and others, Al-Hakim and others from Abu Sa'id. The right of the husband over his wife is so great that even if she were to lick his wound, she would not have fulfilled his right.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen. وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من تبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. Indeed, all praise is due to Allah, and my peace and blessings be upon His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After we have discussed the rights of the wife over her husband, and we have, alhamdulillah, established a number of facts that the husband has to bear in mind regarding his wife, then this is now the rights of the man over the wife. And he started by saying the right of the man over the wife is great. It doesn't mean that the right of the women over the men is not great. But the rights of the men over the women are greater. So both are great, but this is greater. So much that one of the women, she came to the Prophet ﷺ and she asked, Messenger of Allah, my cousin approached me for marriage. I would like to know what is his rights over me when I marry him. He said, verily, if your cousin is to excrete pus, you know the pus are the wounds, and you have to lick all of it, still, he will not be able to fulfill his full rights. So she said, I'm not going to get married to him. So that's to show you that how much rights over the wife regarding her husband, so much that the Prophet ﷺ, he said in the hadith which is going to be mentioned in later on, and that is, if the woman, she prayed her 5 daily prayers, and she had fasted her month, which is Ramadan, and she had kept her chastity, meaning she did not commit fornication or any adultery, and she had obeyed her husband, it will be said to her, enter paradise from whatever gate you wish. So if the woman, she looks at this hadith, that how the Prophet ﷺ made the obedience of the husband over his wife is from those things that would make her to enter paradise, just like the prayer and like the fast, then you should abide by this hadith and abide by the obedience of his, and you should avoid whatsoever that is to be insolent or a person who does not obey his commands. For verily, his disobedience would bring you the wrath and the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over you. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, which is later on going to be mentioned as well, by the one in whose hand is my soul, any man calls his wife for bed, that is for marital intercourse, and she refuses, which we call it sexual harassment, then heavens will be having anger over her. That means whoever is in the heavens, that is from the angels and all of that, and of course Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, until he is pleased with her. So they will be angry with her, the virgin of paradise who are waiting for that husband to receive him when he enters paradise. They themselves will be cursing that wife, saying to her that he is only temporarily is with you. He's about to leave you to us. So behave. So the curse of the angels, the curse of the Virgin of Paradise over that wife who does not obey her husband. So any wife, any Muslim woman, if you want to be good to your husband in order to enter paradise, then you need to obey him in everything that he commands you, except if he commands you to go against your deen. So let you be warned. That is, you should never obey your husband if he asks you to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no obedience for any creature if it is in the disobedience of the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if he asks you to remove the hair of your face, or to remove your eyebrows, or to do things which are In the curse of the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet said, لَعْنَ النَّامِصَةَ وَالْمُتَنَمِّصَةَ, the one who plucks her hair from her face, not just from her eyebrows, from her face. Just because she wants to beautify herself or her husband told her to do so, then she's under the curse. And she needs to as well not to obey him if he had commanded her to abandon the khimar, that is the covering. So she's not allowed to obey him. He wants to boast about her beauty in front of the people, and this man, he doesn't know that he will be called the youth. What is the youth? The youth, the one who's got no jealousy, no passion regarding his wife. He doesn't mind if other people start to look at his wife and he thinks this is good. So he walks with his wife, so that look, I've got the most beautiful wife. SubhanAllah. This is your diamond. You'd like to show it to other people so people can steal it from you? How dare you? You have no shame. So the woman, she should not obey her husband if he asked her to take off her hijab. Now, also from that, you should not obey him when he asks you to make the intercourse in haram way. What is the haram intercourse? For example, the penetration from the anus. It is haram, considered to be kufr. Or to make the intercourse when she is on her menses. That is haram. On her menses, the husband should do whatever he wants except the intercourse. And the intercourse has to be in the right place. So if it was on the backside, it is kufr. Prophet said, he who intercourses with his wife when she's menses, on her menses, or in her backside, or he had come to a soothsayer and he had believed in what he says, all of those three, he had disbelieved in what is being revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, she should not obey him to mix disastrously, I don't say freely, with the men and shake their hands. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had stated that clearly in the Quran, and his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated that clearly in his Sunnah. She should not let any male who is not mahram to enter the house, and she has no other person in the house, so that she should avoid being on her own with him. Even if it is the brother of the husband. For the brother of the husband, the Prophet of Allah called him the death, meaning that he will cause destruction to the house, which is equivalent to death. So if the husband's brother wants to enter, he has to enter with somebody, and there's no sort of like on their own in the house. Even if he's trustworthy, you should not be going in unless there is, like, for example, a separation. There's a different room she is, and he's in a different room, but still, shaitan is there to play around, so you have to be careful. Now, from also the rights of the husband over his wife, apart from obedience, is that she should guard his honor, and guard his honor by guarding her own honor. So she should be guarding and responsible regarding his wealth, regarding his children, and everything to do with the house. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ مِمَّا حَفِظَ اللَّهُ. The Prophet ﷺ said, and the woman, she should be in charge of her husband's house, and she should be in charge of those who are in the house. From the rights of the husband over his wife is that she should beautify herself for him, and she should smile to him continuously. She should not give him a frown face. She should not be in a way looking that is miserable, that where her husband would dislike her. So Prophet ﷺ, he said, the best of the women is the one whom you are going to be pleased as soon as he sees her. As soon as you see her, she'll be pleased. And the one, she obeys you once you command her. And the one who would be observant and looking after herself and her wealth and the wealth when the husband is absent. Amazing enough and strangely that the women, when they go out, they beautify themselves. But when they're outside the house, they don't do so. SubhanAllah. It's supposed to be the other way around. The beautification is for the husband, not for the people outside. So she's a monkey in the house and a gazelle there outside the house. So she should be a gazelle everywhere, especially with her husband, looking like nicely. And I'm not here insulting the monkey nor the gazelle, but I'm just saying he's always been described like this. And also from the rights of the husband or his wife, that she should not leave the house except with his permission, even if she wants to go to the masjid. She has to take his permission. وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُمْ. Allah says, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُمْ. Qarna means stay still in the house, not just in the middle of the house. Don't go out. From the rights of the husband over his wife is that she should not let any person to enter his house except with his permission, even if it's her father. So if he said to her, I'm not going to allow your father to come in, she should not allow to let him in. If she wants to see her father, she should ask for permission, and her husband should allow her to go and visit her father. Maybe he doesn't want the father of hers to come inside. He has got the right to do that. And she has no right whatsoever to open the door for him. But she's to ask him. Did you put the microphone loud? Did you put it loud? Did you put it loud?
No.
Did you put it loud lately?
No, the same way.
It's making me headache, subhanAllah. Doesn't matter. That's why I can't really get close to it. Really loud, mashallah. Okay, inshallah. So the woman, she wants to see her hand like her mother, her father. She should ask her husband to go and see them, and she should not leave except with his permission. If he did not let her, he sinned. But she should not leave without his permission, even if it's her father or not. So she could really bring you, talk to them on the phone if there's a dispute. Because her husband is the one who's in charge of her once she leaves her house. It's not her father anymore. On the right of the husband over his wife is that she should, be responsible regarding his wealth, and she should not spend anything except with his permission. Not only that, her own money, she should not be spending from it except with his permission. So it's not just his money, her money, unless it's to do with something little. So if it's her money, she wants to buy a sandwich. It's her money, she wants to buy a salad. But to go and buy a fridge or a freezer or an oven and all of that, she should not do that except with his permission, even if it is her money. And the hadith is clear for that. So, ليس للمرأة, it's not for the woman to go and take anything from her. تنتهك, that means she takes a lot of her money to spend it without the permission of her husband. If it is to do with somebody knocks on the door and he's a beggar and she gives him, for example, like bread and food and everything, and she normally knows that the husband would not mind, no problem. Or if the husband is going to come back after he's been shopping, mashallah, and he finds the fridge is empty because she's given all the bananas, all the cucumbers and all of that, and she said, that's not allowed. It's to be with his permission, otherwise you're going to create problem. From the sisters are listening?
Yeah.
I could hear them talking. From the rights of the husband over his wife is that she should not fast voluntarily, not obligatory, voluntarily, except with her permission. It says there when her husband is present. Now, even if her husband is not present, and let's say he wants her to only fast the obligatory and doesn't want her to fast the voluntary because it affects her, let's say, body shape. She's not allowed to fast the voluntary. Just as she's not allowed to go to Hajj voluntarily if it's not obligatory without his permission. So he wants his wife to be chubby. And the fast affects her body, it becomes thin. And he says to her, don't fast. She's not allowed to fast except with his permission. Even though she is doing something for the sake of Allah. Because Allah is telling her not to do that except with her husband's permission. SubhanAllah. Also, from the right, and that's by the way, we have in each one we have a proof. But one of those proofs which really comes to my mind now is Safwan ibn Mu'attal radiallahu. He once had his wife coming to the Prophet complaining, the Messenger of Allah, every time I recite the Quran, my husband beats me up. Every time I pray, he tells me off. And we don't wake up for the Fajr until after sunrise. So the Prophet wrote Safwan Mu'attal. Is that what he says true? It's like now, it's not a fatwa, it's a qada, judgment. Is that right? She's the Messenger of Allah. As of her, she said that I beat her because she recites the Quran. Well, I told her to recite little surahs, but she wants to recite big ones. And I'm a person who was my wife. And also, as in for her prayer, she keeps praying. I told her to pray little prayer, but she keeps praying with long surahs. And I'm a man, I want my wife. He's a young man, he wants his wife. She keeps praying. And I want my wife. So she's praying, she's fasting, she's reciting, So the Prophet of Allah said, okay, then, Qul huwallahu ahad. That's these surahs, short surahs, not the long ones. As for us waking up for after sunrise, so we are people known that we are heavy sleepers. And we don't wake up until after sunrise. It's not really deliberate. So the Prophet said, when you wake up, pray. Look at that. So he takes his precaution to wake up for Fajr, but he doesn't want because he's known for that. Okay, so Allah is known for that. So the wife, she should not, and I remember that arbitration between the husband and the wife because the husband complained. She's always on the Quran. And I want my wife. And she keeps telling me off. You don't fear Allah. You're letting me not to read the Quran. That's not correct. That's not recitation of the Quran. This is trying to create problem. You could recite the Quran whenever he's not there. Why is it when he's there, he starts putting the Quran and Mus'haf and MashaAllah and Adhkar and he wants you. Also from the rights of the husband over his wife is that she should look after the children. And from the rights of the husband over his wife is that she should be satisfied with even the little. So she should not be moaning, my house is not the house of, the wife of your friend, is not the car, it's not the car, wife of your friend. She should be satisfied with the little. And she should not show her favors if she was spending money on the house. Let's say her husband's in need. And she had to spend money on the house. She should not sort of boast about her favors and humiliate her husband. From the rights of the husband over his wife, that she should be nice to his parents and to all his friends. She should not be rude to them. Yes, it is not the right of her husband to make his wife be a servant to his parents. To look after them. No. But if she wants to do it, just love her. But to be nice, she must be nice. She should give them the nice looks, the nice smile, and everything. From the rights of the husband over his wife, whenever he needs her for intercourse, she should never say no, even if she was on the tannoor. Tannoor is the oven where you make bread. The fire. So if you leave the bread in a second, it will burn. So even he called her the bread, that she should not say the bread is going to be burned, let the bread burn. But don't let her husband burn. That's true. The husband, they know what I'm talking about. The one who's not married, they don't know what I'm talking about. But the husband, his fuses will start blow up if she doesn't respond. Let the bread burn, but do not burn herself, or burn her husband. Prophet ﷺ, he said, if a man calls his wife to the bed and she does not come, and he slept angry with her, the angels will keep cursing her until the morning. Let her come straight away, and do not hesitate. From the right of the husband over his wife is that she should, just like the right of the wife over her husband, not to disclose the secrets of the bed, especially the bed, the secrets between them. Let's say, for example, in front of the people, the husband does not smoke. But secretly, he what? Smokes. She should not tell anybody. And she should not threaten him. I will tell everybody what we're doing. A'udhu billah. That's the secrets. It's good that your husband is shy from his people. He doesn't want to show that he is doing a sin. So keep that for him. Even if it is not a wife, any person. If this person is doing a masiyah which nobody knows about, he should not be disclosing that masiyah. Because it will be more of appropriate for him to go and repent from that masiyah. But if it's been boasted, he doesn't care. Everybody knows about it. So don't disclose his secrets. The Prophet ﷺ had told the companions, it is very bad to start to disclose his secrets, especially regarding what you do in the bed. It's like a person who is a shaitan met a shaitana. Devil met a devil woman. And they started making intercourse on the curb, on the right, on the pavement, on the street, where people can look at them. That's how when you are disclosing these secrets, it's like people seeing you doing the actual thing. From the rights of the husband over his wife, that she should be keen to live with him and not to keep asking, divorce me, divorce me. So every time she'd be provoked, divorce me. And that's not correct. That's not right. Well, the word should not be used. Any woman who asks her husband for a divorce and there is not a legitimate reason, then she will not smell the fragrance of paradise. These are the words of the Prophet ﷺ. So the muhtari'at from the munafiqat, the ones who ask for divorce from their husband for no reason, they are the hypocrites. So these are some of the rights and most of the rights of the men over the women. So who she wants the happiness, then let her. That is, to strive to fulfill what we have said just now. And also the mothers, when they are about to give their daughters to marry a man, admonish them. And this is the sunnah of the Salaf. So I would like you now to tell us and narrate for us when Amr ibn Hajar, who is the owner of the leader of Kinda, and he had wanted to marry her. So when he married Kinda to Iyas, so she had been admonished by her mother, Umama bint al-Harith. So we want to read what did she say to her daughter before she went to her husband.
On the wedding night, her mother, Umama bint al-Harith, gave her an advice that lays out the foundation for a blissful married life and what is obligatory upon her with respect to her husband. She said, "My dear daughter, if advice were left for the virtue of etiquette, I would leave this for you. However, this is a reminder for the negligent and support for the intelligent one. If there ever were a woman who was not in need of a spouse due to the wealth of her parents and their strong need for her, I was indeed the most not in need of it."
You were, you'd have been, not I was.
He says I was.
No, wrong though.
Okay. Okay.
You would have been because her parents are rich and they are in need of her. Okay? So you would have been the most self-sufficient. You don't need anybody.
But women were created for men, and men were created for women. My dear daughter, you are...
So this is the first thing. So she said, I'm not admonishing you because just about to teach you the etiquette and all of that. But it's actually a reminder. The etiquette of there, but just to remind you. And if any woman, she would be sort of self-sufficient, she doesn't need her husband because she's rich, or because her parents are because they're rich, because of her parents are rich, or her parents are in extreme need to her, then you would have been, my daughter, the one who's the most self-sufficient, because your parents are in need of you, and also your parents are rich. But the women are created for the men, and the men created for the women, for wife and husband. Now,
My dear daughter, you are leaving the environment that you came from, the life that you grew up in.
you came out from the environment that you were in. Go on.
To
And
an unfamiliar setting and a companion you have not bonded with.
that means you left the things which you were familiar with. You left the nest, okay, to something, to somewhere. He said even the nest, like a bird, to a den of a lion or something like this. You left the nest of your parents to a den now. So you don't know the environment there. Go ahead.
You have become, by his authority over you, a watched person and a servant. Be a servant to him, and he will soon be a servant as well.
Be a slave to him, and he will be a slave to you. Once you become a slave to him, he will become a slave to you, and he will listen to you. Now,
Adhere to 10 characteristics for him, and he will be a treasure for you.
okay, let's see that. 10 characteristics. Number 1 and 2.
First and second, be submissive to him with satisfaction and listen well to him and obey.
So number 1 is be satisfied. Qana'ah. Satisfaction is very important. Just qana'ah. You are in a tent, don't ask for a house. You're in a house, don't ask for a, like a palace. You just be qana'ah. Don't keep moaning. We don't have this, we don't have that. And also to hear and obey. To hear and obey. Number 3 and 4.
Third and fourth, be aware of what he sees and smells. Never let him see you looking ugly, and never let him smell anything but a good scent from you.
So don't let yourself in a state where you are not looking attractive. So he will see you in an ugly way. And also to beautify yourself for him. And also don't let him to smell something which is bad for you. Now,
Fifth and sixth, be aware of his times for sleeping and eating. Being continually hungry makes one burn, and lacking sleep makes one cantankerous.
meaning, if this person is gonna keep, moaning, hungry, I'm hungry, if he's not cooking for food, he'll be mad. When the person is hungry, start shouting. And if he's about to sleep and you start shouting, and you start bringing other people to go and make noise and he can't sleep because he want to work, then that will bring problems. So you have to be careful regarding this issue. So make sure that you give him the food when he needs the food, so the food is ready, and also give him the right time and the right, you could say, time for him to sleep. So calmness is very important. Number 7 and 8.
Seventh and eighth, be prudent with respect to his wealth, and guard over his servants and dependents, and manage both issues of money and arrange both issues of dependents.
So the money and the independents, which are the children, children. The money, meaning that the husband doesn't want to see his wallet empty every time he comes to the house. So the wife, she just robs him off and he comes back, where's my money? It's gone. Oh, what do you do? Shopping. It's not allowed. You have to be careful regarding this. This is money of yours, money of your husband. Be careful with that. And also, he has to see all his children and look after. Number 9 and 10.
Ninth and tenth, do not disobey him in any matter, and do not expose any of his secrets. If you go against his wishes, you will have created malice in his heart against you. And if you spread his secrets, you will not be safe from his betrayal. Finally, never have.
SubhanAllah, you will not be safe against his betrayal. So his betrayal. You will betray you if you disclose his secrets, because then he will start to disclose your own as well. Now, then.
Finally, never have joy in his presence while he is depressed, or be gloomy when he is happy.
ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. Translation of which?
Our Lord, bestow on us from our wives and our offsprings who will be the comfort of our eyes, and make us leaders for the pious.
Right. Now we come to the disputes between husband and wife.
Marital disputes.
Boys who are not married. Pay attention. Because not a single house, regardless who's that person, somehow he had a dispute with him and between him and his wife. So we need to know and learn how to deal with that issue. Fun.
Marital disputes. Virtually no family is free of any problems or disputes. However, families differ in the magnitude of such problems. Islam encourages the spouses to try to solve and bring an end to their disputes among themselves.
Okay. From now I'm going to be talking, inshallah. So basically, the disputes that takes place between the husband and wife is always there, but it differs in terms of size-wise. You've heard and must have heard about this problem between the husband and wife, that she had killed him and cooked him and she had fed him to the workers outside. You must have heard that in Emirates, very recently, it's only about 3 months ago. She cooked him, okay, cut him to pieces and cooked him and made biryani of him, and she gave it to the Pakistani workers who worked there. And it's how the news have his brother came to look for him, because he's not from Emirates, he's from Morocco. And she's from Morocco as well. And what happened is that he found something strange in the blender, a tooth. And he couldn't believe it, so he phoned the authorities, and it's all over the news. So they found the tooth of that husband, that she had cooked him and blended him, and she made, a biryani out of it. Type of problem like this is very strange, of course. I'm not wanting you to get married now. And other problems is to do with shouting, other problems would lead to divorce, other problems would lead to grudge and hatred, disputes. Islam gave us a solution how to solve such problems. We don't need, to go further from our Quran to solve our problems. If we go with this, it's the best. Okay? This is the best social way of ironing the differences between the husband and wife. Finally, the issue is that when we find that the man is afraid that the wife is going to be having nushuz. Nushuz is that the woman, she feels herself that she is now becoming like, an opponent for her husband, not a partner, opponent. And also that the wife, she feels that the man is going away from her. So it's two cases here. We need to know how to resolve the matter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had gave us in the Quran ways of, as I said, resolving the matter and bringing things back as they were. The most important in Islam thing is to do with the family and making the family united. So if this family cracks, then everything will be disastrous. From the children, they can't be brought up properly, from the discipline, and from the husband and the wife, there will be no life. And that is why Islam is keen to resolve these matters. How do we resolve a woman who has nushuz? That means she's now becoming sort of disobedient. She doesn't want to listen to her husband. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa, verse 34, وَاللَّاتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَعِظُوهُنَّ. Are you following me? وَاهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ فَإِنْ أَطَعْنَكُمْ فَلَا تَبْغُوا عَلَيْهِنَّ سَبِيلًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيًّا كَبِيرًا. Translation which?
As to those women on whose part you see ill conduct, admonish them first, next refuse to share their beds, and last beat them lightly if it is useful.
Right. So the first one, فَعِظُوهُنَّ. Admonish them. Admonishing is to do with sitting down with her, reminding of her what Allah said regarding this issue, what the Prophet said this issue, bringing as well stories from the companions that would soften the hearts. So this is the first duty upon the husband to admonish his wife, and this is inquired from him because Allah says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, O you who believe, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nar. Save yourself and your families from the fire. وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ, the fuel of that fire, men and stones. Okay, so basically he is trying to resolve this illness before it gets into another stage which is impossible to resolve. So we want to kill the problem from the beginning. You know, when you find a cancer, the best remedy for the cancer is to find it as early as possible. But if you find it late, the cancer is already spread and it's very hard to eliminate it and cure it. So this is usually is the case. If you sit down with the wife, you resolve the matter, what's the problem, together, head to head, inshallah, this will normally the case bring the war down. And there will be, alhamdulillah, surrendering. But if the flag, the white one, is not being raised, now we're going to go to another. So maybe this step did not work. Allah says, وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. That is the weapon that the wife she has always over her husband is the sexual harassment. So she knows her husband is in need of that. So she's like teasing him by not giving him. So if the man is capable of controlling that issue and showing to the wife, I am not affected by you trying to blackmail me through this. And it's very hard for the man, by the way. He has to be very patient. He has to fast and fast. If he can take that weapon away from her hand, you understand the weapon here, which is the sexual intercourse. He can take away from her, and she shows that I'm not in need. Then that might bring her, okay, well, she's in need of it now. She wants it. So that is another way of disciplining her. But when Allah says, وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ, you leave in the madja' means where you sleep. So you are with her on the bed, but you don't make the what? The intercourse. It's not to go and sleep outside, or to kick her out the room and she sleep outside. It's not allowed. Where children can see that, or even other people can see that. That's not going to resolve the matter. Once the wife she sees like this, she would think on, oh, hang on a second, my pride here is at stake. I'm not going to let it go. So this is to do between you and her. So nobody knows except you and her that you are not really having any interest in her, okay, in her body, and she's not going to be as well blackmailing you through that. So if you can do that, and then she comes back to terms and she starts, alhamdulillah, fixing the problem, then that is what we want. But if you did not resolve the matter, Allah says, وَاضْرِبُوهُنْ. Beat them is the word which has been translated. I would say discipline them is a better word. Because the word beat is like, you say beat. It comes with a word with harsh and just like.
It sounds harsh.
No?
It sounds harsh.
It sounds harsh, and it is harsh. Because beating up the person, it means take him to the ground and start wrestling with him. And by saying this, I have to resolve a dispute between an old man and an old woman. They come to me, the old woman, she's talking from behind. The man is in tears, and he's old. I'm talking about both of them over 60, maybe 70, 65. He is on top of her and beating her up with punches. Imagine an old man and old woman punching her face. That's amazing. And both of them, mashallah, are very dedicated to their religion. He prays 5 times a day, doesn't let go of any prayer in the masjid, mashallah. And she's the same thing. But what's happening? He said, she does not stop talking. She nags 24/7. I have to make her shut. That's what he said. And he's crying. The old man's crying. I can't stop her from talking. And I know that old woman, she talks a lot. Non-stopping. But I said to him, so do you encounter that, non-stopping the talk by beating her up? Of course not. I mean, I was really shy as well to admonish somebody who's much older than me. It's not really easy. Between me and him at that time, I admonished him 20 years. So anyway, we resolve the matter by a number of things. One of them is, well, we have to refer to the doctors to give him tablets to calm him down. You know, tablets to calm him down. He's too hot, okay? And he's on the edge. Basically, if he pushed, he will be pushed straight away. So, alhamdulillah, he's calm everything. After that, since nothing happened. And Allah precaution as well. Right, so discipline then is that you, for example, hit her like this. No hitting on the face. No rebuking in a way that to humiliate her. Like, you know, that to spit on her. Oh, spitting on your wife. Okay? So this is allowed. Not to leave a bruise, not to break a bone. This is to say to her, well, I've tried to admonish you, it didn't work. I tried to keep away from you for the marital relations on the bed, it did not work. Now I'm saying to you that, you know, you've gone down to level that you need to be hit in order for you to wake up to what you're doing. So that is just to show her that you made me to resort to such a thing and you should not be doing that. This is only for not a human being. You are a human being. You should be disciplined, you should be listening, you should be all. Okay? So when you be to this, you are having the heart of a discipliner, a person who's a teacher, with heart full of tender, heart full of love. It's not a wrestling match. It's not to show her that, you know, I go to the gym, that's why I'm really cough. Huh? It's not that. She's weak, regardless of how many times she goes to the gym or trains herself, you're stronger than that. So this beating is basically to just, why are you so not paying attention? Wake up what you've been doing. So that is a good way of waking her up. So this beating is accompanied with love, not with hatred. All of this is to resolve the problem in order to bring the family back and to make it stand on its feet. We have a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ was asked by a man called Mu'adh ibn Hayy, Messenger of Allah, what is the right of a woman over one of us? He said that to feed her, if you feed yourself, and you clothe her when you clothe yourself, and do not strike the face, do not step on her face, and do not disgrace her, what is that, demean her, do not use foul language, to rebuke her, to humiliate her. It's not allowed. وَلَا تَهْجُرْ إِلَّا فِي الْبَيْتِ. Do not make the marital relation to stop or not to hold with her except in the house, not outside, in the bed, in the house. So the Prophet ﷺ, at the beginning, when he had to set the relationship between the husband and the wife, this hadith in Iyas ibn Abdullah ibn Abi Dhubab, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, do not hit your wives. Umar al-Khattab came to the Prophet and said, Messenger of Allah, the women became like roofs now. Not been hit. They became like men. So Prophet of Allah, Messenger of Allah, after that, he gave the permission to discipline them physically. By giving that permission, it been misused by a number of men at that time. So the women came complaining. They were being beaten up. After the Prophet gave permission, the women came to the Prophet's house complaining about their husband. So the Prophet said, lots of women came to the house of the Prophet of Allah. They are complaining regarding their husband, for verily these husbands are not the best of the husbands. No good. They're no good. So this hadith, it shows us that the man should be patient regarding the shortcomings of his wife, and vice versa. The wife should be as well patient regarding the shortcomings of her husband. That's how life's going to go on. There's not going to be 100% of perfection. No perfection in whatsoever. Okay? And not to resort to beating and disciplining except if the matter had gone out of hand. Prophet said, خيركم خيركم لأهله. The best of you is the best to his wife. Also, the beating is not to be severe, as I said, and leaving bruises and breaking the bones. Prophet Allah said, one of you, he will start whipping his wife just like he whips his slave, and then maybe at the end of the day he goes and sleep with her. Subhanallah, you whip her like a slave and beat her up like somebody who's like a wrestler, and then you want her to have an intercourse with you during the night. What is this? What type of person is that? Right, anyway, if these things, alhamdulillah, worked, okay, we should not go beyond them. Khalas, alhamdulillah, the wife returned back, and everything went back as it was supposed to be, and the life is running smoothly, alhamdulillah. Right, now, for verily, how the wife should get to treat the husband when he is not behaving properly. It is not the same. The wife is not, for example, going to admonish him. If he's not going to be listening, she's going to leave him from the marital relation. He's not listening, she's going to beat him up. No, this is from the husband to the wife, but the wife to the husband is a different case. Let's see. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, وَإِنْ امْرَأَةٌ خَافَتْ مِنْ بَعْلِهَا نُشُوزًا أَوْ إِعْرَاضًا فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْهِمَا أَنْ يُصْلِحَا بَيْنَهُمَا صُلْحًا وَصُلْحُ خَيْرٌ وَأُحْضِرَتِ الْأَنفُسُ الشُّحَّ وَإِنْ تُحْسِنُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرًا. Translation, please.
And if a woman fears cruelty or desertion on her husband's part,
Desertion, that means to leave him. Yeah.
there is no sin on them both if they make terms of peace between themselves, and making peace is better.
Making peace is better. Go on. Oh, right, okay. He did not translate the whole verse. Right. So basically, Islam also had made a solution when the husband is not, having any appetite anymore in the wife. How should the wife treat that? You understand me? The husband lost his appetite in his wife. Maybe because of her manners, maybe because of her age, maybe because of her beauty. She's not as before, wear and tear. The person who grows up is wear and tear. True or not? Yeah. You're not going to be as young all the time. And, the husband is not seeing in his wife what he used to see before. And that's why he's now basically not having any consideration to the relationship between him and his wife. So, if the woman, she wants to do the following, it's up to her. And that is not to go and resort to the divorce. For verily we know that the divorce is something which is not recommended. This is the last medicine, which we call it cauterization, branding with fire. So she doesn't want to be left as a divorce, nor she wants to be left like a wife, but she's not a wife. You know what I mean by wife and a wife? She's a wife, but she's not acting as a wife, because the husband is not approaching her. And she's like being suspended, hooked. She's not in a position, not a position of a divorce, nor a position of a wife. So there is no harm, if she wishes, between her and husband, to start, arbitrating by compromising some of her rights. Do you understand that? So, for example, to say to him, okay, I want you to stay with me and I want to, give you some of the financial money. Or my night, which is my right, it's for you. If you want to, especially if you've got another wife, and he wants a younger wife, he wants to spend the time with her, and he's now about to divorce her, but she wants to stay. She is the one, she wants to stay with him. If she doesn't want it, it's up to her. But she wants to stay with him, she would say to him, okay, my night, keep me with you as a husband, as a wife, and my night is you free to do whatever you like with it. And this happened with Sauda. Sauda, she got old, the Tuzama, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. And she was afraid of the Prophet of Allah about to divorce her. She's too old. So she said to the Messenger of Allah, the Messenger of Allah, okay, that my night is for Aisha. She said for Aisha because she knows the Prophet of Allah, he loves Aisha, the youngest of his wives. So my wife, she's to Aisha. So the Prophet accepted and he kept her. So my night is for Aisha and he accepted that. Right, so basically, if the wife she wants to do with this, it's up to her. Otherwise, if she wants to have a divorce and separation, she has a right as well because of that. Now, if the matters had gone really extremely so much between the husband and the wife, we don't want to go to the divorce. Allah says in the Quran, Surah An-Nisa, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا. You got this verse? Yes? فَبَعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيمًا خَبِيرًا. You got it? You must have got it. I know he's got it, but he doesn't mind. We'll just tell him straight. Yeah.
Allah has said, and to those women on whose part you see ill conduct, admonish them first.
No, not that one. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا. If you are afraid that there will be a separation between them, then send an arbitrator from her family, an arbitrator from his family. It's not here. Okay, let me just see the old version of this book.
It's on page 427.
No, it's there.
It's 427.
427. Read.
If you fear a
That's the one. If you fear. Now.
If you fear a breach between the two of them, the man and his wife, appoint two arbitrators, one from his family and the other from hers. If they both wish for peace, Allah will cause their reconciliation. Indeed, Allah is ever all-knower, well acquainted.
Read after that. Which page is this now?
This is page 427.
So everybody follow up. 427. Go ahead.
The measures that we have mentioned so far are concerned with situations wherein the rebellion is not yet great and only the beginning stages of discord are occurring. However, if the recalcitrance is clearly out in the open, then one does not follow the previous measures as they will not produce any benefit in this new
Let me just speak in English, please. Right. Sometimes these words you don't understand them, so they're not going to make sense. Basically, you're resolving the matter of admonishing, and after that leaving the bed, and after that discipline by beating. If that gone beyond that stage, those things were not going to be helpful. You might increase the matter because this big problem in between now. She's not talking to you. She's now gone to her house, her father's house. So it's nothing to do with leaving her on the bed. We're going to be, she left you already. So the matter is escalated so much that these precautionary measures or disciplinary measures is not going to help. Now this is when we're going to be using this verse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is that basically we are in the husband and the wife, we can't be divorced yet, to send someone who is an outsider, who's away from this problem. Somebody on her behalf to represent her from her family, and somebody on his behalf to represent him, representing the wife and representing for the husband. So these two are from the family, so they are not going to disclose the secrets. So they know the problem, they're going to keep the problem. And they are keen to keep the family for the sake of the children, for the sake of the husband and the wife. So they're keen to come together. And they know that this is because of anger that's happening between the husband and the wife. So they are away from the anger, they get together, and they resolve the matter. And they come to terms. And these terms should be abiding on both. This is what we should be done. Should be done. So basically, these two arbitrators is to resolve the matter away from the war which is taking place between the husband and wife. And lots of times this will work. So they will set some terms on the husband and some terms on the wife. When they get together, it won't even these terms will forget about it because the affection had come and the love is there. So these may be terms at the beginning and later on the terms will be disregarded. You just want to bring the husband and the wife. Once the husband and the wife go to the bed, everything resolved. Everything khalas, everything's been gone away out of the window. Alhamdulillah. Right, so the two arbitrators will get together and remove this, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if Allah Azza wa Jalla wants them to come back, then Allah will make them to go back. Right. Now we come to the al-ila. Al-ila means if the man makes an oath that he will not intercourse with his wife for a certain time, but less than 4 months. It's called al-ila. Okay? 4.
Page 431.
Now,
Al-ila, making an oath to abstain from one's wife. If a person swears that he will not have intercourse with his wife for a specific period, which must be less than 4 months, then it is best for him to simply break that to expiate for the oath and to have intercourse with his wife. The Prophet ﷺ said, if a person swears an oath and then finds that something is better than what he swore to, then he should do that better thing and expiate for his oath. If he does not break his oath, then he must have patience.
okay, let me just explain this as well. Basically, the man, if he had made an oath, I'm not going to approach you, means a sexual wise. And he said for a month. Well, if he wants to approach her, then he has to expiate his kafara for his oath. It's an oath. What is the kafara? Is basically to free a slave. If you hire a slave, or feed 10 people. So freeing a slave, or feeding 10 people, or clothing them. So you've got an option. Because there's no slave, so we go to the feeding of the 10 poor people. That means 10 meals, whether it's for one poor person or 1 meal for 10 people, each one. I have to give 10 meals from my food. I mean the average food of mine, feed them properly. If I haven't got food, I could give them clothing as well. If I can't because I'm financially not able to do so, then I will fast 3 days. Those 3 days, it doesn't have to be one after the other. It is recommended, but it's not compulsory. This is called the kafara of the yamin. Now this person, if he wants to go ahead and not to approach his wife for the period that he had made an oath with, there's no kafara, there's no expiation. But let's say now he had made an oath on not to approach her for 4 months, or forever. 4 months or forever. So if he had expiated, okay, then alhamdulillah. But if he did not expiate, and the 4 months had passed, then she would ask him, the wife, to intercourse with her or divorce her. He's got the right. She's got the right to ask. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِلَّذِينَ يَكُونَ النِّسَائِهِمْ تَرَبُّصُ أَرْبَعَةِ أَشْهُرٍ فَإِنْ فَاءُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Translation of which? The ones who makes ilah from the women.
So those who take an oath not to have sexual relation with their wives must wait 4 months. Then if they return, change their idea in this period, verily Allah is forgiving, most merciful. And if they decide upon divorce, then Allah is all hearer, all knower.
Right.
Can I ask a question there, short?
You could ask a question, inshallah, after that.
What about
Ask the question now afterwards.
Oh,
Why that question is important and the other question is not important. Inshallah after this. So this is called ilah. And the Prophet ﷺ made ilah from his wives for a month. And the Prophet ﷺ, he had stayed away from his wives, and then when the 29th day come, he came to Aisha to approach her. She said, Messenger of Allah, you have made an oath for a month. 29 days still. Another day. Look, subhanAllah. So the Prophet, he said, the month, it could be 29, it could be what? 30 days. She said, fulfill your oath, another day. It's like a hint of a punishment. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ, he made ilah that he's not going to touch his wife for a month, and he is allowed to do that. As long as not forever, or for longer than 4 months. Then it will not be. Then she has the right to ask him to intercourse with her, otherwise she will ask him for divorce if she wishes. This is called al-ilah. Now we come to something al-dhihar. What is al-dhihar? Al-dhihar is to say that you are like the back of my mother. What is the back of your mother? That means I cannot ride you, just like I can't ride my mother, because she's my mother. Haram. So you become like the back of my mother. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it means I'm not allowed to approach you sexually, but you're like my mother. This one, that saying is not correct. If you said it, you say for a period of time, then you have to fulfill it. If you did not fulfill it, then it's not an expiation of an oath. It's more than that. So if you said you are the back of my mother for a month, and somehow you want to approach her now before the month is finished, it's not like ilah, by Allah, I'm not going to approach you sexually. It's different, saying like the back of my mother. If you have approached her before the period is finished, then you have to free a slave. If you can't, fast 2 months consecutively. If you can't, feed 60 poor people. In that order. You can't go to the feeding of 60 poor people if you have got a slave. If you are able to fast for 60 days continuous, you can't go to the feeding of the 60 poor people. Okay? So it's called a bihar. It's called what? Bihar. Lahara. This is similar to what? Anybody? What is this punishment similar to what? Fasting. There you go, go on. Break your fast.
No, if you have relations with your wife.
So if you make an intercourse while you are fasting what?
Ramadan.
In Ramadan. Not compulsory. It has to be where? In Ramadan. And fasting is what? Obligatory on you. Means you are not a traveler. If you're a traveler, there's no problem because you're allowed to break the fast. So it is in Ramadan, and fasting is obligatory upon you, and you have made the intercourse, then the same punishment. Free is life, if you can't, fast 60 days if you can't, then feed 64 people. It is not similar in entirely to a person who killed somebody by mistake. Somebody being killed, not deliberately by mistake. If you kill somebody by mistake, then you free a slave. If you can't, you fast 60 days. There's no such thing as called what? Feeding 64 people. But if you can't physically fast for 60 days, there's nothing on you. Why? Al-Bihar. So I was right when somebody, they were talking, but nobody want to support me on that sort of thing. I said that number of times they're talking. I could hear them from the beginning to the end. Whatever we go. I could hear them from the beginning to the end. They didn't stop talking. Right. I will stop here. And I will continue the Lihar, inshallah, in 2 weeks' time because there is more of interesting stories. We will ask our brother here to give us a question he wanted to ask.
I want to ask about the hope of the man. What about the wife? If she said something like husband, that if she's not increasing that.
If the wife, she said, sorry,
She taken oath that if the husband does so and so, for example, and
but so and so, what is so and so?
something like
Let's
not
be
gonna be,
precise.
for example, she's not gonna be in bed with the man.
She's not allowed to say that.
If she says that, what about it? Yeah.
She is sinned. She has to expiate. So she said, by Allah, I'm not going to approach you sexually.
Yes.
We tell her, feed 10 people or clothe them straight away, and you have no right to say that. The husband is only the one to say that, not the wife. Wife is not allowed to say that. This is the right of her husband. It's not her right. It's not his. You understand? The right of her husband is the one who's intercourse.
What about if he says that and the husband really approached her? What's the
Sorry?
if the husband approaches her?
I'm just saying
by
that she is
saying-
not allowed to say that. And if she said it, she has to expiate. If her husband wanted to do, she said, I'm going to approach you for 2 days. I said, I'm going to do it now. She has no right to say, sorry, I'm going to expiate. Well, expiate or don't expiate. I'm sorry, I want you now. You know, she has no right to say that, well, you have to wait until tomorrow. No, wait a minute. It's my right. It's not her right.
What was
Subhanallah.
Sheikh, what was the explanation?
Execution of what?
For
Yamin, it's like an oath, remember?
the oath, like when the woman makes an oath.
Same thing, you Sheikh, man and women, they make an oath, the same thing. What is the difference between the oath of the woman and the oath of the women? An oath is an oath. She breaks her oath, same thing, which is slave, no slave to free, feeding or clothing 10 people. If they can't financially, then they fast 3 days.
When it comes to the wealth we have, like salary we got, is it permissible to show or not to show our wives? I mean, I've got this, shall we use this, or it just it's up to you to arrange what the.
Say that again, sorry, I didn't really catch up.
I've got my salary,
You got your salary.
so shall I show my wife? I mean, is it like is it allowed to show my wife the way we're gonna spend, or just I can keep myself and spend it the way which is halal? Is it? I don't know if it makes sense to.
So you're saying that if you have money, can I use my money without telling her what I'm using it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do your money. Is your wife here listening?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Is it allowed for the wife to know how much I earn, my salary?
No, that's your question, not this question. So your wife there as well? The man is not even advised to tell his wife how much he earns, because he'll be in trouble. He's not advised to tell her how much he makes, because you're making that much and you're giving me this. She will not be satisfied. Don't tell her. That's from the manhood. She shouldn't be asking these questions. Okay? Right, but don't be stingy. Don't be stingy on her. But you're not really obliged to tell her. If you tell her, it's up to you. Some people, they tell her. It's up to them, but it's not advised. Because, as I said, the husband way of calculating responsibility is different from the wife. Did you understand me? The husband prospect, the husband insight, his view regarding how much the budget should be is different from what the wife decides, and that's when the clash will be.
Very much.
Yeah, so much clash because of it. So it's better to say nothing. Leave it in your hand. Better. You are the man who's running the show. You are the person who's in charge of the family. Okay, it's better. Each one has got his own plan how to make the budget. So that's why we have a budget person. We don't have 2 people for budget. Budget. Minister. Nah. Further.
One of my uncle, he was on his.
One of your uncles?
Yeah, he was he's in his late 50s, and then he divorced his wife, and then he married a younger woman. But the younger woman.
So he divorced his wife, who's old.
Yeah.
Married a younger woman.
Yeah. The age-wise was about 20 years. Yeah.
Okay, age 20 years. What's the problem?
So the problem was when the younger woman was married, she realized that he might go back to her. So for her to make sure that he stays.
Who realized it?
The younger woman. The current wife now.
The current wife, she realized what?
That he might go back to her.
To the first one.
The first one.
Why you?
So she came up with an idea that to exhaust him.
Came with a solution.
Solution.
Yeah.
To exhaust him.
Exhaust
him.
Sexually.
Sexually.
Yeah.
So I think in the end the husband understood.
And that's the story.
Yeah, he understood and then he divorced her. So what was the right?
He divorced her because of what she harassed him.
Yeah.
Because he's too old.
Too old. He couldn't cope. I mean, he couldn't.
She keeps demanding of what she wants. And he ended up, this is a headache.
He couldn't cope.
The honey did not work. All types of food did not work.
So what was the right decision he should make rather than him divorcing her? What was the right decision he should have made?
But the decision has been made already. It's, when the person who marries a younger woman, he has to know that she's going to be mom. Okay? I know a person, he comes very, very late to the house to make sure his wife is asleep. I know him very well. He's worried that she's awake. Then he's in trouble. She wants him. Muhammad. He once he said, I came 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and she's still awake. Allah Musta'an. And some people, the other way around. The man is demanding, and the wife is not producing, even though the age is similar. And that's why he says, I want another wife. Can you give me another wife, please? I can't really cope. Okay, it's power. It's to do with it. It's called in Arabic sharaq, lust. It differs from one person to another. Now. Good question. What time is the maghrib? Now, yeah? The Adhan. 25. طيب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك